Welcome back. I'm Danny the Dinosaur Drawer. Today I'm going to be showing you all how to draw the level 40 Carnotaurus from Jurassic World the Game. So yeah, this is the Carnotaurus from Jurassic World the Game. So it's going to have some extra spikes and stuff. So it may not be the most realistic Carnotaurus, but it's still quite similar to the real thing. Like it has the horns on the head, stuff like that. Tiny little arms. They're smaller than T-Rexes. So I'm just going to put in a quick outline right now for this dinosaur. I know it's highly requested by you guys, so I don't want to mess up. So I'm just going to put in our quick shapes here. The head's probably going to be a little bigger than that. Its other leg will be right about there. And then it's going to have spikes on its back. So, yeah, now that we have a quick outline, we can begin. I'll start with the leg actually, because I don't want to start with the head, because then we'll smear a lot of the picture. So make a nice long line like that. I'm actually going to erase some of this outline, so we have no lines there. So got a really long thigh. So put that line there. Then I'll put another line here. Shade it a little bit there. And the final line that closes the back of the thigh piece there. See, this dinosaur has a funny, it's not really funny, it just looks natural. So, stripes pattern on it. It's not really stripes, it's more of a, I don't know what you'd call it actually. Maybe body markings. So we can put that in like that. And of course I'll give it a slightly darker tone than the rest of the leg. So I wanted to assure you guys that I have a lot more videos coming that you guys have requested. So if your specific dinosaur has not been drawn yet, it's going to be coming. I've not forgotten you. It's just that I get a lot of requests every day. So I usually try and draw out the most requested dinosaur, and this one is quite requested. I do have another video on Carnotaurus from the movie Dinosaur. If you haven't watched that, I think you guys would enjoy it. It's on my channel. But of course this one's going to be better than that one. First, because I'm better at drawing now than I was then. And second, because this one's from Jurassic World the Game. So it's a lot cooler. So yeah, in the areas, I'll zoom up a bit. In the areas between the spike, or between the stripes, you can put a little bit of scales. Basically just put a few round circles in like that. I'm not going to fill in the entire area. You can if you want to. I'll recommend just putting a few scattered around the leg here. Just to give people the impression that there are scales on this dinosaur. Just put them randomly. We'll make it look more organic, like so. And now, of course, we're going to give the leg a little bit of shape by putting in some shading. So darken the back there. See how it makes it looks a lot more 3D now. we just add a little bit of shading to it. So I don't want to get too carried away with the leg. We've already spent 5 minutes on it. So we'll have to finish the leg actually. Put in the calf right here. And its ankle. So protruding out of the ankle are 3 very cool spikes that a lot of the carnivores from Jurassic World the Game have. So put those in like that. And right now I'm going to put in a few wrinkles for the knee. So I'll put 4 wrinkles in. Add another one there. I'm going to put another line here to give the calf a little bit more shape. So now we're going to put in the dinosaur feet. So Carnotaurus has a very cool looking feet. All the carnivores do. It's got extra long claws. They look a little bit longer than the average carnivore from Jurassic World the Game. So I'll always start by putting in the claws first. You can put a little bit of shading, so make it dark on the bottom half of each claw. So I usually put in the claws first just so I can tell where each toe is going to be. These are pretty big feet. Just put on the bottom of the feet right there. So now on the top of the feet we're going to put the scales that the Carnotaurus has. They end right about there, so usually I would draw them up the ankle, but the Carnotaurus does not have them go that far. So another thing to make it look a little bit more realistic is to add shading between the toes. Like so. So each of these little refinement tips will help your drawing skills and make your dinosaurs look more realistic. So I'm going to put a little bit of shading right here. And of course, feel free to add as many scales as you like. If you really want to be a true man, you can scale in every single area. I don't have enough time today to do that. Well, the video would be way too long. Maybe in a time lapse I'd do that, but not in a tutorial video because that would take too long. It already takes me long enough just to do this much. So yeah, there we have it, our first Carnotaurus leg. Now we can begin working a little bit more on the body here. It's got like an arched back there to erase. I want to get the proportions right because that's the hardest part about drawing, is making everything the right size. So I can make that dark, thick line there. These will be the wrinkles of the belly. Make it quite dark on the underside of the belly. course, we have to leave some room here for the arms. And make some lines across there to signify that there are ribs. And of course I'm going to continue the skin pattern. I sort of want to connect it to the leg, but of course to make it realistic, it's not going to match up completely. So we're just going to fill in these stripes, and then we will put in some more scales. So one trick to make the scales look more realistic is to have some really big ones, then some medium-sized ones and small ones, and just scatter them out real randomly so it looks organic. In other words, not man-made. So another cool feature about the Carnotaurus is that it has 2 rows of spikes. I hope my hand's not really getting that much in the way. I noticed that after I do the videos that my hand was blocking. I find that really annoying when I'm watching someone else's drawing tutorials. So yeah, putting those spikes there. It's the first row of smaller spikes. I'm just going to add some more scales to your Carnotaurus. Give it a little shading there because it's the shadow of the leg. And finally now we can put in the shoulder blade. Just right about there. Put some scales on that. And now we can put the arm in. It's got a very short, stumpy little arm. With 4 claws, or 4 fingers. So I couldn't really do much damage with this. So we'll get some cute little scales along the tiny arm. I actually made the arms bigger here than they look like in the reference image I'm using of Carnotaurus from Jurassic World the Game, but that's okay. Put the other arm in there. So yeah, now we can head on and do the neck and head. First I'm going to erase right there. And we'll first, before we do that, I'm going to work a little bit on the spikes that are coming out of the backbone, or the back ridge at least. So yeah, they're pretty long. I want to make them look like they're actually embedded. So we'll make sure they're all connected like that. And to make the spikes look more realistic, we're going to give them some lines going up like that. I also wanted to ask you guys a question if you guys would like some more War Dragon videos. I really enjoyed those, but they didn't get much views or likes, so I was not sure if you guys want more, but if you do, I would appreciate you commenting below, because then I could get an idea if people still want some War Dragon videos. It's certainly not that much of a big video game, but it's got some cool dragons. So now we're going to put in the Carnotaurus head, which is the head of the dinosaur is always the funnest part. So I'll start by putting in the jaw here. The jaw line at least. So the neck is going to be right about like that. This mouth is going to be slightly opened right at the front. So you'll be able to see a few of its teeth. It's got a rather thin bottom jaw. See, I just need to make a little room for the horns there. So the eye ridge comes right about here, the nose put in right there. So yeah, I'm gonna move the camera over a bit like that, so I can have some more room to work with. So yeah, we might as well put in the eye right now, before I get too carried away. Put a few wrinkles around it. A little shade under the eye ridge there. It's got this cavity that's really common in all the theropods. Some people call it shrink wrapping the skull when you draw it, but I'm personally a fan of doing that because it makes it look more, the dinosaur looks a little bit more detailed that way. So yeah, the Carnotaurus also has spikes coming out of the back of the head there. And now we can put in the first horn. I actually like the horns better when at Carnotaurus level 30, because at level 40 the horns get really long. So they look a little bit too long. They look like almost like ram horns. So yeah, we'll put in those two massive horns. This will be right about the middle of the head. So the head's actually not, it's not like a side view, it's more of a 3/4 view of the head. Put a little bit of shading here. Then of course we're going to line the edge of the eye and the cavity here with scales. And then also I'm going to put scales around the rim of the mouth. It's standard procedure, I always do it for my dinosaurs. And I also do it to the bottom jaw as well. So I feel like it's important to make the head the most detailed part of the dinosaur. So I usually put in full scales for the head. I'm going to put the scales a little bit lighter here. It looks better actually than if you make the scales too dark. So yeah, there we have it, the head of Carnotaurus. And now we can put in the neck. So I'm going to put some wrinkles here. Put in this vein that goes from the head to the, or from the neck, from the head across the neck to the arm, the shoulder blade. And yeah, we'll put in some more stripes. And make this line a little darker. Just want to give the Carnotaurus a better look there. And I'll continue the spikes up along the neck here. And the smaller ones as well. Can't leave them out. And yeah, I'm going to continue the stripes. Another way you can do scales is like this. It's a faster way. It's not as detailed, but it does look good as well. It looks just as good, almost. Just by swirling your pencil around. Basically just making lots of little circles. So if you just hang in with me, I'll scale most of the leg here. Just for sanity's sake, because I like it when everything's nice and detailed. So yeah, now all that's really remaining to do is the opposite leg, which will be mostly shaded black because it's on the other side. Of course, we have to put in the spikes that come out of the back of the ankle there. Now we're going to put in its other big rabbit-like feet. It's got some really big feet. When it's shaded in, you don't really have to give it that much detail. I mean, you don't want to make it too sloppy, but the attention shouldn't really go to the opposite leg. People should look at this leg and the head and the body. So yeah, now we have to just put in the tail. It's got a rather short tail. Very short, in fact, like compared to Velociraptor, it's a very short tail, or any of the sauropods. I want to make sure you guys can see that. So yeah, I'm actually going to start by putting the spikes. So the spikes are really big as they get closer to there, so they're not that big at the end of the tail, but they do get to the point where they're this large. So that looks pretty good for the bottom half of the tail. For the top half, we're going to put in the stripes and scales. You can make your own design of scales as well. I highly encourage that. Or not scales, stripes. I meant stripes. Or even polka dots. That sometimes looks cool. Not all the time, but if that's the skin pattern you choose, go for it. Or you can just do tiger stripes, zebra stripes. There are lots of different patterns. Or you can just do one long stripe from the tail across the entire body, like Blue from Jurassic World. That was a pretty cool idea. So yeah, it looks pretty good for the stripes. I'll make this one a little darker. So we're just going to finish up the tail here by putting in some scales. And for the tail, I just recommend putting in the quick way of doing scales like this. It's way faster than the other way, and the end result can be better or just as good. It's better because in the other way, you usually don't do the entire, you don't scale in the entire tail, but this way you can. And then I do recommend, however, to put in a few round scales like that just to make it look better. So yeah, I did add some ground while you guys were, while I was gone, because the video stopped. So I added some ground, and yeah, this is the level 40 Carnotaurus from Jurassic World the Game, drawn by me, Danny, the Dinosaur drawer. So yeah, if you, there you can see it. So yeah, if you liked this video, please check out my channel. I've got a lot of more cool videos. A lot of them are cooler than this one. Hard to believe, right? Yeah, so go check that out. Like the video, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.